In the quiet moments of domestic life, there arrives at your feet a small object, carried with purpose and placed with deliberate care. A toy, a ball, a crumpled piece of paper, or a favorite stuffed mouse appears suddenly in your path, accompanied by a loud, declarative meow that demands your attention. Most humans interpret this scene as simple playfulness or an eccentric habit. They smile, perhaps toss the toy back, or worse, ignore it entirely, returning to their screens or their thoughts. Yet what has just occurred is far more ancient, more intentional, and more emotionally significant than any casual game. Your cat has just performed the ritual of the hunter's gift, and in doing so has revealed a profound reversal of roles that speaks directly to the deepest instincts of their species. This act is not random, it is not meaningless. It is the expression of what we may call inverted maternity. In the wild, it is the mother cat who hunts, who carries prey back to the den, and who places it before her kittens. She does this not only to feed them, but to teach them. She demonstrates through repetition and patient example how to stalk, how to pounce, how to kill, and how to survive in a world that offers no mercy to the unskilled. The kittens learn by watching, by imitating, and eventually by practicing on the gifts their mother provides. The entire sequence is an investment of energy, risk, and time given freely for the continuation of the bloodline. When your domestic cat brings you a toy and announces its arrival with a loud meow, they are performing this same ancient sequence, but with one extraordinary reversal. They have identified you as the one who needs instruction. In their perception, you are the super mother who has forgotten how to hunt. You move through the territory without the necessary skills. You do not stalk. You do not pounce. You do not provide for yourself through the ancient ways. Therefore, the cat assumes the responsibility. They become the teacher. They become the provider. They become, in that moment, the one who ensures that their chosen family member will not go hungry. Consider the cost of this act. Your cat has spent energy. They have used their predatory focus, their patience, their physical effort to locate, capture, and transport the object. They have then carried it across the home and placed it at your feet, often at personal risk of misunderstanding or rejection. The loud meow that follows is not excitement alone. It is a call to witness. It is a demand that you acknowledge the gift, and by extension, acknowledge the bond that makes such a gift meaningful. When the gift is ignored, something sacred is diminished. When it is received with presence and respect, something ancient is honored. There exists within this ritual a deeper philosophical dimension that concerns the very nature of care across species. Your cat does not bring the toy because they expect you to play in the human sense of the word. They bring it because their biological programming insists that family members must be provided for. The toy becomes a symbol, a certificate of care, a physical manifestation of the priority they place upon your survival. In their internal world, your safety and competence in the territory matter. By offering you the fruits of their hunting, they are attempting to close the gap between what you are and what they believe you should be. A capable hunter, a protected member of the pride, a being worthy of their investment. This is why the moment carries such emotional weight when it is properly understood. The cat is not treating you as an equal playmate. They are treating you as a dependent who requires guidance. The inversion is complete and total. The small domestic feline has assumed the mantle of the elder, the provider, the teacher. They have decided that your education and your nourishment are their responsibility. To dismiss this as mere play is to fundamentally misunderstand one of the most generous and vulnerable acts your cat can perform. When you learn to read these gifts correctly, the relationship transforms. You begin to see that every toy placed at your feet is a question asked in the language of instinct. Will you accept my care? Will you allow me to teach you? Will you recognize that I have chosen you as family, worthy of my energy and my skill? The correct response is not to throw the toy across the room for amusement. The correct response is to pause, to acknowledge the offering with your voice or your eyes, and to understand that something profound has just been extended across the boundary between species. In this light, the hunter's gift becomes one of the clearest windows into the feline soul. It reveals a creature capable of reversing its most fundamental programming out of loyalty and concern. It reveals a being who does not merely coexist with you, but actively works to improve your condition within the shared world. The toys are never just toys. They are declarations, they are lessons, they are acts of inverted maternity, offered by a small predator who has decided that your survival matters more than its own rest. If your cat has ever performed this ritual for you, if they have ever placed something at your feet and waited for your recognition, then you have been chosen. The question is no longer whether they love you. The question is whether you have learned to receive that love in the language in which it was given.